It's about the book.
This book, The Power of Love, Blood, and Mandrake, what do you hope to achieve?
To learn more about the invisible strengths that govern us. Occultism is real. The master who fell that night when Fabio and I escaped, I made him fall. I cast a spell on him and it worked.
Or was it a coincidence?
The universe is rarely so lazy.
If you say so.
Yep, that's Holmes.
Could Fabio have written this letter to Kurt Manchos?
Oh. That could be. I never thought Mr. Manchos could make Fabio that angry, though.
What do you mean?
Well, Fabio wanted to disassociate from Mr. Manchos. Clients who are in love are both a blessing and a curse.
But Fabio was here tonight.
Money. In our line of work, we can't afford to turn down clients who pay as well as Kurt Manchos.
Was Fabio afraid of Mr. Manchos?
Not at all. The old toad wouldn't dare to do more than sweet talk and touching. Talk can be forgotten, and touching washed away.
Okay, you practice occultism.
Do you practice occult rituals?
For protection? For fortune? To wash away the ugliness of the world? Sometimes to survive. I have the gift, and I'm learning to use it better.
Did you use your gift on Fabio?
I only used white magic. Love charms lately. Fabio became so distant. I just wanted him to be with me, but I suppose I'm not as skilled as I thought.
Alright, okay. That's a connection, yep. Fabio shattered Kurt Manchos' feelings. Odysseus may have used a ritual on Fabio. I mean, if that becomes that, and we switch around like that, does that... Oh. I was thinking that might have... I'm waiting to see if I can just... If it'll click and give me the... give me something. Right, we'll go and talk to... Manchos about the letter.
There is undeniable evidence that you were the original recipient of this letter.
What are you talking about? Is it addressed to me?
Your protege wanted a fresh start, it seems. This is sufficient to charge you.
Me? Hurt my star? Are you insane that you would accuse me of such a thing?
He did not consider himself as yours. Since you deny everything, let's move on. Do you have any idea as to how the letter could have ended up in Mr. Vogel's pocket?
You were the detective. Perhaps he took it from Fabio. Werner was a little high.
Okay, that's not helpful.
Do you recognize this book? Could Matista have borrowed it from your library?
She didn't ask me. How ungrateful.
The things described in the book were inspiration for the rituals you performed?
Do you really believe that blood, symbols, and incantations can resurrect the dead? They are just eerie tales with a mix of occultism and voodoo. My rituals are a stage to show some of the forbidden pleasures.
Okay, we've got a new clue. Anything? Either Vogel or Manchos is lying. So he takes the letter. Oh, that. Okay. I don't think that makes sense. Manchos planted the letter. That implies that Manchos is the one who did it. Or do I say Vogel? So what happens if I say Vogel took the letter? That clashes with this. Which then means... Okay. How do I explain the letter? I think it makes more sense for Manchos to have done it. Like, if so there are two people who I think have a motive. And I assume you can do it with basically everything. I assume we can probably say all four can be selected, but I think only two seem to have a proper motive. Manchos and Pinchetti. Manchos, it's the oldest one in the book, basically jealousy and love. Pinchetti, it's kind of the next one. The money. He's annoyed that Manchos keeps giving him all the stuff. Do I have any more cases? I've got another letter from Fabio. Oh, I can ask... Okay. I don't know who I've asked about this. Oh, that's now flashing with the Mind Palace because I've still got that one set up. We'll ask...
Please let me out.
Okay, letter from Fabio.
Please let me
No,
out.
did I ask Matista about it? I should ask Matista about it, just in case.
I know I can handle the news.
So I can still talk to someone about it. I talked to Vogel about it. Maybe the officer?
The air here is rather refreshing. I'd even recommend that some of my friends visit the place.
I talked to everyone about the letter. So if I come back... Maybe Oswald can find something in... I doubt it, but... No.
This letter proves nothing. Fabio wrote it to Mr. Manchios. It's time to free Mr. Vogel.
Do you really think I'm that naive? I need proof, not words from his friend.
Very well. Mr. Pinchetti told me that Mr. Manchios was lavishing Fabio with expensive and eccentric gifts. The letter mentions rich rewards and attempts to buy Fabio with them. It was written to Mr. Manchios. Who else was showering Fabio with luxuries to buy him? It doesn't fit Mr. Vogel's character.
Look here. We had a deal. Give me the murderer and then take your friend with you. I won't budge otherwise.
Well, fine, but you're just wasting time.
Okay, so now I've talked to everyone about it. So I think, looking here, other than... Yeah, I think that's just he's in there. So we haven't got any more evidence to pick up. I mean, if I look at the map, we were over here. That's fully explored. We've picked up all the evidence there. And I think we've gotten all of the evidence we can there. So... So the options are either we say Manchios did it or Pinchetti did it. Now, if Pinchetti... Right, so let's think about the classic ones. Means, motive, opportunity. So they both had the opportunity. I think... Would they... Like, it seems like they had a conversation and then hit him with the bottle and then tried to bring him back. I could see it being Matista now. No, I was thinking like if she got angry. So if I switch it to that and killed in a ritual murder. No, I don't think ritual murder. I don't think either of these is right. Okay. Well, no. So if you say that way and then do that and then it was Vogel, that's now Matista. Did you have a motive? I could see it being... like, okay, I don't think... So, Pinchetti has an obvious motive. But why use this particular ritual rather than just stabbing him? Is Matista trying to bring him back? She's kind of accidentally killed him. The murderer had a key to the altar room. Does Matista have a key? I need to go back. Oh, no. Somewhere here. No. So... Yeah, Kurt Manchios' reaction. He hadn't permitted Matista to take it. Draw a symbol representing your love. Do I know what the symbol was? Worm-like over the stomach. The victim had appeared to cover his clay... Oh no, that was a creed tattoo on him. Worm-like sigil on the victim's stomach. It was like representing your love, isn't it? Right. So someone's doing this. Yeah, someone's... Yes. So this is the thing, is it's meant to look like this thing. Now, Pinchetti doesn't know it, so it's not Pinchetti. So it's either Matista or Manchios, because Vogel also doesn't know it. So we've taken it down to those two. I'm going to switch back to Manchios. It's the soap, It's the soap. Because it doesn't seem to fit logically for Manchios to be, oh yes, I might have been busy talking to people. Like, well, yeah. It was in a rush. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Manchios. Heartbroken panic did not mean to kill Fabio. The improvised ritual was a desperate attempt to cover up the crime. Well, he got the letter and planted it on Vogel, is what we've said. He staged the crime as a ritual. To blame Matista, I wasn't thinking to blame Matista. I was thinking just to hide it. Just to kind of... Yeah. Manchester has no consideration for the lives of others and deserve to be hanged. I mean, well, I disagree with the death penalty, but I think... Yeah. I think in general this is right. I can't see it fitting Matista. Right, this is what we're going for. Yep, that's what we're going to go with. Do I go and talk to you then?
Continue our investigation while I look for the papers.
Okay, so I need to now go and talk to... Now I go and talk with him. With Manchios. But yeah, I think it makes the most sense, I think, that he did it.
The murder of Fabio did not have a ritual purpose, Mr. Manchios. It was staged by a man who wished to distract the investigation.
That might be true. That poor girl Matista wouldn't dare to kill the only man who cared for her.
Yes.
So, Santos.
Mr. Pinchetti snatched at the chance to solve his problems.
Ungrateful little scum. Will he be executed?
But what for? He informed the police as to the crime, that was all. He couldn't stage the ritual, but he found the body, I believe.
I can't believe it. Why did Werner do it?
Mr. Vogel. He had no reason, and he won't be a scapegoat as you plan. You put Fabio's letter in his pocket when he was intoxicated, didn't you?
You can't be serious.
Yeah, so this is the thing, is thinking about it, is like, of the four people, two people would knew the ritual, and two people had reason to harm Fabio, which is why I've gone with him. Your fingernails. That was the key thing.
We can very often deduce someone's life by their shoes, or their fingernails. You are a meticulous person, but this murder was fairly traumatic and filthy. After you stabbed Fabio, you were covered in blood. You panicked and neglected to rinse the soap from under your fingernails. The devil is in the details, Mr. Manchios.
Nonsense. I missed it simply because of the busy schedule of the party.
Of course, a staged murder was certainly not planned.
What? I would have thought it was, but alright.
You're at the twilight of your life. You have no partner, you have no children. You had feelings, however, for one man. That was Fabio. You loved him. That is, you wished to own him with money and gifts. But he was also a free mind, was he not? He turned his back on you. Quite unjust. Love, so cruel and painful, and Fabio, with his words and deeds, made you feel the more wretched. So you killed him.
You must surely perceive that my sensitive nature wouldn't allow me to hurt anyone.
And you staged the ritual.
You staged the murder as a satanic ritual. It was easy for you, since you were the one who wrote the scenarios for the parties. It was your way of avoiding suspicion. A respectable man in his 60s,
Early 60s.
who hosts the cream of Cordona's society, cannot possibly be a murderer. But the guests who behave like animals in his mansion, Of course, one of them could have killed Fabio.
I did oversee a few of the rituals, but I did not stage Fabio's death.
I think it was premeditated rather than crime of passion. Like, yeah, you'd think people would be a bit more emotional about things if it were a crime of passion. It was premeditated murder.
The young performer played with your emotions. That was painful to realize. You spent so much time and effort to be with Fabio, but he didn't respond in the way you would have liked. You wanted to be loved. But Fabio shattered your dreams. In the smoking lounge, he teased and mocked you. He wanted you to suffer by offering himself to others. The deception was unbearable. You struck him, and then you staged the ritual. You planted the letter in Vogel's pocket and attempted to set up...
That's a crime of passion.
What poppycock? Sherlock, stop this game now.
There is no stop word, Mr. Manchios. Relax and enjoy it. I'll pass the remainder of this case to Constable Oswald. He'll know what to do with you.
I can change this. I can still change that, but I still think that's the right. That's right. Like, I don't know. Was that back and forth? Him saying it wasn't him? Like, because it makes sense that it's him. I don't. I could possibly change this and try someone else, but right, I don't know if we can even pick Vogel. I don't think we can even pick Vogel. Yeah, I don't think Matista would have done it. I think that was something that we basically agreed on, and I don't think he would have known about the ritual. Like, that particular ritual was from that particular book. It wasn't from the book. I don't think it was. I think the game would have told us it was from the book in the dressing room. The only person who makes sense with both of these is... Right.
I have a name for you. Kurt Manchios.
Is that so? The master of the Sabbath?
The man himself. Mr. Manchios couldn't stand to lose control over his lover. A deadly revenge that deserves a proper sentence. I have all the evidence to charge him.
A degenerate and a murderer. I'll make a name thanks to that for sure. As for my part, not everything was in place. Perhaps some documents were transferred somewhere else, but I couldn't find a trace of them. Then I remembered. The discarded document drawers where we put the lost papers or the badly labelled ones. Including the crime scene report of Violet Holmes's case. Everything I've found is on the desk here. Take it.
Your persistence has saved me.
Yeah, well, we had a deal after all. Your friend is free then. You can leave.
Good luck, Constable.
Okay. Right. Oh, hello, wrong button. Report number 0743. Officers arrived to find the deceased, identified as Mrs. Violet Holmes, lying in the garden of Stonewood Manor. Visual inspection showed the victim to be thoroughly soaked with a deep vertical incision 2 inches in length down her throat. Down her throat? Down her throat, that's not someone slitting the throat, because that would be a cross. Her face was swollen and covered in red blotches, likely cause of death hypoxia. Awaiting confirmation from medical examiner, main suspect Otto Richter was arrested on the scene. The body was sent for autopsy. Oh, memory.
Garden. There's a garden behind our manor. How could I forget? That's where it all happened, where it all went wrong.
Sherry, it looks like you've almost found what you wanted.